Oil, another one that had a bit of a bumpy couple of weeks recently.
It has, Paul, but it's had an interesting couple of weeks, up and down, a bit of sideways, and then we had a bit of a takeoff, and then we've had this, we had a bit of a pullback, and there were a few things happening in oil, and the OPEC plus countries very nicely stuck to the rule book, and they increased production as per their agreement. There were no ifs or buts or banging on the chest or flooding the market or anything like that. So they did a very nice job there. There was obviously a bit of a pullback during the week, but what was interesting with the way it has moved after it's finally broken out of this horrible consolidation for the last 15 days, 16 days, was that we've had it come back and it's just clipped and sat above and stayed above the 20 moving average on the 4-hourly chart. That and the way I'll read my, just a technical insight is, the way I read my MACD is the blue line is MACD, red line is signal, MACD below the signal line, but price action still above the 20 EMA indicates consolidation. So even though we've had this pullback for the last couple of days, end of last week, we're still closed and still above the 20 EMA. Interesting things coming up in the next the 24th of September. Earmark the 24th of September, put it in your diary, and just watch the price action really carefully around there. That has been a day that's been earmarked by the Chinese to auction their excess oil supply. They are desperate to get the oil price down. They don't like it down. They don't like an oil price that's too high. They don't like any of the commodities up too high. They did this not so long ago in copper. They drove the price up. They bought a lot of copper, and then they just hit the market and brought the copper price right smack bang down again. So 24th of September, which is Friday, Chinese plan to hold an auction. Now the thing is that they've actually announced it. Will be interesting to see if it's already been priced in, or whether it is going to be taken as seriously as perhaps some of the other moves. And I do suspect that that was possibly in there as well last month, that brought oil back down pretty darn quickly. The other thing we need to just bear in mind is that a few things happened during last week, and that was that there's still some fallout, and some of the US suppliers are offline still because of Hurricane Ida. There was a bombing in Colombia at one of their major oil plants, so that just slowed everything down. But as you can see, it didn't send it flying. It just didn't send it flying. I also heard if the Northern Hemisphere has a particularly cold winter, with everything that's gone on, they expect to see oil hit triple digits by the end of the year. That was initially what they were saying when we thought we're coming out. This is pre-Delta, when we're coming out, and there was an economy, a recovery economy really starting to ramp up and pushed oil along. When was that? That was back May, June. However, there's been some analysts now re-looking at what's going on with what has happened just recently. We are going to see that triple figure hit by the end of the year, with a cold winter coming through for the Northern Hemisphere. If not, that triple figure was actually suspected to be hit by mid next year, but they've just brought that up 6 months in advance. So whilst I see oil just sitting, just paddling really carefully here, that retracement's nothing to get terribly excited about. And yeah, I'm maybe one more bar, and we have a bit more of a pullback at the beginning of next week before I suspect a bit of a onwards march. Well, that's where I'm looking with oil.
Yeah, look, it's been interesting. As you know, the technicians have been around at sort of $92 to $100 on oil for a long time now. You know, there just appears to be some confidence in that target for a long time. And again, you know, my suggestion is at this stage, the pros are probably buying the pullbacks on this and are looking for a bit of a run up at it. Yeah. And yep, I'll certainly be back in the charts on Monday having a bit of a look, and I wouldn't mind picking up a little buy on oil around these levels myself. Cheers, Ainsley. Thank you very
Okay.
much.